What's up, Raj? Coming at y'all. It's like midnight. I want to show y'all the studio. We're pretty much done. We picked up just about everything we think we need for the studio here at RocDaHouse Studios. So we're going to go ahead on and get ready to get busy. We've already been busy. We have a couple clients. We're doing some production for other major artists, as well as get ready to start the CD for RaJuR, which is me. So we get ready to get it in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take you on a tour. This is the official RocDaHouse tour. For all the haters and all the people, no, I didn't mean to say that. Yes, I did. For all the haters and for all the people who know we do business, come at your boy. There's other rival studios out there, and we understand that we have competition. But it's okay because we strive to be the best studio that you can find here. The best, smallest little studio you can find. There's studios that are out there that'll bring you to their studio, and it'll be a laptop, a mic, and some speakers, and an interface, and that's all you'll find. We don't do that here. We want to deal with gear. That's what we do. We don't do a lot of plugins. We ain't got the latest version of Pro Tools, the latest version of Logic. No, what we have is we like to touch stuff. So if you're a guitar player or a bass player, we think we got you covered. We're going to add one more guitar, PRS, pretty soon. Well, we're going to start with the guitars before we go back into the studio. So what we have here is a Telecaster. 2014 Telecaster with Joe Barton pickups. If you need a guitar to work with, we have a Fender acoustic back here that sounded pretty good. RaJuR, myself, did a CD from that, did a song on his latest CD with this guitar. So it's a pretty nice guitar if you mic it right, and that's what we do. Here we have two Squiers. We have a Fender 4-string active Squier jazz bass. And everybody know about those. These are made in Indonesia. So everybody knows what's going on. Indonesia making some nice basses. We also have a fretless Squier Jazz, also made in Indonesia. And we're going to get a shout out to the people who sold us these basses. So a shout out to the Guitar Center that I got the fretless from. Shout out to Guitar Center in Lancaster that hooked me up with this Squier fretless. I appreciate that. Guitar Center's been very, very good to me. And I've been very, very good to them. We like to shout out our place at Royal Pawn. We picked this up with Nick and his dad, Rick. And we picked this up down in Virginia, in Alexandria. And that would be our active 4-string jazz. Next, we have our Fender Jazz 2000. I think it's a 2014 as well. Fender Jazz bass. And we have that here, authentic USA. All of them are authentic, but this is a USA Jazz bass. If you want that telly sound, we have a telly bass. This is made in Indonesia as well, even though it has a Fender stamp. It's Indonesia telly bass, so we got that as well. So if you need that sound, we got that sound. We also have a 5-string jazz, 2001, made in Mexico, Fender Jazz bass. I've had this, like I said, this is my baby right here. It's been around me a long time, since 2001. I've had this bass for 16 years. 5-string, that's my baby. And last but not least, we have our Music Man Stingray double humbucker in blue, ready to go. So if you need the basses, we got the basses for any bass player that need a bass. You don't want to bring your own bass. We got basses right here at RocDaHouse Studios. We have a Telecaster. We also have a Pacifica Strat 512. I found this to rival $1,100 Strats. Believe me. As you can see, I have a lot of guitars. I just don't buy any guitar. It's got to work for me. And this guitar, the Pacifica Strat, sound just as good as a made in Mexico Strat, and actually sounded almost better than the $1,100 Stratocasters made in Mexico by Fender. I'm telling you right now. It's not because I couldn't have bought those. Of course I could have bought those if I wanted one. But why did I need to spend $600-700 more when I cannot spend $600-700 more for a Fender? When I got something to sound just like it. And everybody likes the guitar, especially karaoke night. All right, y'all. RaJuR Real Deep Cool coming at y'all. Let's go back. It's time to go back to the studio. And then we're going to take a tour of the studio. And here we go. And as you can see, we pulled out all the mics because we want our clientele to see our mics. We do have a lot of clients, but we're not going to have a lot of clients up here because my studio is very private. Not anybody can just come off the street and say, "Yeah, I want to use the studio because I want to do some hip-hop and rap." It don't get down like that. You got first of all, you got to have had some musical experience. Your music got to be on the internet somewhere. You got to be sold somewhere. iTunes got to be selling somewhere. Even I'll accept SoundCloud. But we have enough clients that we really don't need any clients right now. But if you want to get on the list of being clients here at RocDaHouse Studios, we'll do that for you. So let's go ahead on and go back into our little vocal booth with our black light. And this is our vocal booth we have back here. And this is where we put our mics at. Muhammad Ali is back here chilling, doing his thing, knocking out Sonny Liston for the 19th, 20th, 1000th time. Because how many times I don't look at that picture. And then we have our Pro Tool monitor here. So if you're doing Pro Tools, you'll be able to see yourself recording in Pro Tools back here. We also have our universal remote back here, so we can control Pro Tools and everything from right here, from our Frontier Design remote control. And here's our remote control. We got our start and stop button. There's my feet. Start and stop button. There you go. We have some incense. We got the mouse. And we got some soundproofing. We got even more soundproofing. Shout out to my man D Shavers for hooking us up with some soundproofing. We haven't used the soundproofing yet. I just got it last night. So we're going to sell some more soundproofing. Though we really don't need it back here because it's really a closed-knit spot. Once we close that door, you locked in. It's holla at your boy. And it's a wrap. All right? So we good to go back there. All right? So now let's take you around to some of the gear that we have. Some of the newest gear that we have, we'll go ahead on and show you that first. Even though I was mentioning it this morning, we picked up the Gaiatone reverb tank. This thing is unbelievable. I can't believe it. I can't believe I was thinking about taking it back. I'm one of the only few persons in the world that has this. And I got it from Guitar Center. So I'm going to shout out to my man Steve, the manager of Guitar Center, and the crew for turning me on to this, let me play around with it, and I ended up buying it. I had to have it. And I'm not regretting it. It has tubes in it, and the thing will warm up anything, including the synthesizer. I showed y'all my video this morning. You saw that. As far as amps, we have our Fender Limited Edition. We want to shout out Cheltenham Pawn Shop. I forgot my homie's name there. We're going to shout out Cheltenham Pawn Shop for putting me down with this Fender Limited Edition. Still got the sticker on it. We don't play around with our equipment. We keeps it real. And then we want to shout out Moms, Pat, and Jay for the Music Man 212 HD. All right? Look, man, I give shout out to everybody because I'm not a hater, man. I shout out people who, like, help me out, and that's what I do. Unlike people that I know, I ain't going to say nothing else. I'm about to say people that I work with. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, here we go. We got the Timberwolf here, and we're going to shout this out. Dang, who did I get the Timberwolf from? I'd like to shout my man, I think his name was Sean. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But shout out to my man Sean and my man for the Timberwolf. Man, this thing is very nice. Very, very nice. So if you want that analog sound, I've been getting into analog gear now. I said, well, let me get some more analog gear because even though I do mellow stuff, I still want to do some analog type stuff too. So we bought in the Akai Timberwolf, and man, this thing is really hot, all right? Now, before I got the Timberwolf, I picked up the Zyosynth. And this is made by Novations, and we get ready to implement that in the system too. And another thing that sounds really hot. In fact, let's turn off my CD, which is called the what's the name of the CD? That's ridiculous, right? I only know the name of my own CD. Alright, the name of this CD is called The Experiences. We're gonna turn that down so we can let you hear some of the gear that we might have plugged up, okay? So let's go ahead on and we're gonna let you hear some of the gear. So let's go back to the Timberwolf. We can't turn up too loud. We turn up just enough so you can hear what's going on, all right? So it's the Timberwolf. And right now, that's running into a reverb effect that we'll talk about later. So that's the Timberwolf analog piece, all right? And then we have the Novation analog piece. And that's the analog we talking about. But we got more analog than that, believe it or not, because I just went analog crazy. I mean, we at RocDaHouse Studios went analog crazy. Well, it's just me. But I'm going to say we anyway. We at RocDaHouse Studios went crazy analog. So let's show us our latest analog piece. And it's from my man Steve. Thank you, Steve, for turning me on to the SH201. Steve turned me down with this, put me down with this. Yeah, but I just made this sound myself. This is my specially designed sound. That's going to be in the song automatically. That's the joint I made by myself. And now what we have here, I mean, it's just too much to talk about right here, but we're just going to let you know what we have here. The Roland SH201. So if you guys want to get more into the analog, we got that going too. I'm just going to say, this is the best little studio you're going to find around that has the most gear. We have the Motif 6. This is our main controller. And it controls a lot of stuff too. What it's controlling right now is what we have inside the MPC 2000. And y'all know what this is. Kanye used it. Everybody used the MPC 2000. Swiss Beats. If you haven't used the MPC 2000 XL, you just haven't used it. And some guys are still using this like I am after about 15 years. It's still knocking. Thank heaven this stuff is still rolling. All right. Back here we have our turntable blazing off. And if y'all remember this morning, I showed y'all how the turntable is actually wired into here. If I want to do some, some craziness with a song, I go ahead on, throw the song on. And now I go hear my filter. And play with the sound. Bam. All right, so I showed y'all that this morning. I'm showing it to you again. So that's what's popping off with that. All right. Can't play the song too long because they want to do copyright restrictions on me and so whatsoever. Back here we have our Mac Mini Me, and along with our interface that we use to bring our MIDI in, which is the Steinberg UR22, and then we run into our Logic 8, okay? And again, you might say, won't you have Logic 10? Won't you have Logic X? Man, we use what works back here. If it works, we good to go. If you want to bring Logic, bring your own Logic. You know what I mean? This is what we use right here to do RaJuR music. And RaJuR has about 6 CDs out, and they've been doing pretty good, mainly overseas. Unfortunately, RaJuR don't get a lot of, we don't get a lot of support here in the States, but we get a lot of support overseas, and that's the main thing. That's what keep us rolling. So, as long as we know somebody loves the music, we good to go. All right, now, let's continue on. So now we're going to go into the speakers. So basically we have some KRK4s to do some monitoring, and then we have our main speakers, which is the LSR 3025s, LSR 25s, and down here we have our KRK subwoofer, okay, and it's a 12-inch subwoofer. So that's how we monitor. So you're going to get the most accurate sound. If we do a 15-inch subwoofer, then more likely it'll probably be too heavy of a bass. You think you got more bass than you think you have, so we went with the 12. All right? Got you. Now, mic preamps. We use the Focusrite ISA 220. I've always had this. And again, if you guys know my studio from back in the day, I've had some of the greatest preamps. I've had Neve preamps. I've had Millennium Media. I had Avalon. I've had all kinds of mic pre's, but since we had to downsize, this is what we decided to do. And I've always kept the Session Pack 220 because it's just so hot. Next, we got the two. I'm going to thank my man over in Jersey that turned me on to the LA 610 Mark II. That's a 2 mic pre right there. All right, so we're gonna give you, just give you some variety here. When I have a studio, my studio must have variety. I'm not a one-trick pony in my life. I'm not gonna be a one-trick pony in my studio. That's not the way we work. We don't have one mic, one interface, one set of speakers. We don't do that. That's not what we do here at Rock the House. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue on. Thank my man, I forgot his name, to turn me on to the ISA 1. Picked that up from my homie in North Philly. So that's a nice piece as well. Now, let's go down the line. Rack number 1, we have, of course, our master link, which makes our master CDs so we can make our CDs. Next, we have a Lexicon MPX1, Lexicon MPX100. We have 2 tone beats. So we use these for mic pre's as well, instrument pre's, as well as mastering. We use these to go down to our final 2-track. And that's what we're going to do. We got our patch bag. We have our digital patch bag. We have a Behringer compressor. We have a Aphex old-timey 104 from back in the day. We got our interface, MR816, that beat out a Prism in a blind test. We have a Tascam FW1804 just for extra inputs into the mixer. We have our line mixer, well, actually it's a mixer amplifier, and we use that for the KRKs to get that different sound. Not like having a nice little amp, giving you that regular old sound. Then we have a system outside that we can also play into a regular stereo to see how your sound before you leave out of here. Because you want to make sure your sound translates over everything. Not only that, we have a JBL, the wireless piece that we can wire into the system too, that lets you hear what it sounds like on the JBL. We also have an Altec Lansing piece that we can run it through this as well. Shout out to Karen Bell. May she be resting. That's my sister right there. So she's always there. Alright? Let's continue on. Now we're going to go to the effects. We got more effects over here. So we have the Roland SRV 3030. And that's our reverb effect. It's a multi-effect unit. It does a lot. Just like these right here, it does more than just reverbs. It does a lot more. Delays, reverbs, pannings, all kinds of good stuff. I'm getting ready to bring another one in maybe pretty soon. But really, I have enough. These two are really, really good. The 3030 is good as well. Very nice. We also have an Aphex 204, and we use that to boost our sound. It's what we call an oral exciter and a big bottom. So we use that to bring the bottom in. If we lacking a little bit of bottom, we pop that bottom in there, put a little oral exciter with the harmonics in there, tune it up, and we got our master. Okay? Here we have a TR rack by Korg, and everybody know about this. These still are very popular. A lot of people don't use rack gear anymore. They're using plugins. We like to touch our stuff. That's why we buy a lot of gear. Holla at your boy. Next, we have our MIDI Express, our MIDI timepiece, control all our MIDI gear, which is, again, one piece of our MIDI gear right there is a MIDI T-Rack. Then we have an XV5050. We have our Proteus 2000 that has a MoFat card built in. So if you go through, we tunnel through here. Send it over, if I can get this thing to act right. And you'll see it go to MoFat. Bam. So we got a MoFat in here, along with the 2000, alright? So we got a Proteus 2000 with a MoFat. No, how much that's worth right now, I can't even tell you. We got our RME, this is our main mastering pieces. This is our ADI 96 Pro. And before anything goes to this master link, it's got to come through there. Then we have our Pro Tools interface right here, another Pro Tools interface, 8-channel AD converted by Nuendo, which is another Steinberg piece. Steinberg and RME, they have the clear stuff along it. They also make this MR-A16 as well. So Steinberg and RME, you're gonna get the cleanest sound out of my studio possible, and it can't be done without the Big Ben by Apogee. This is our clocking piece. This is how we clock all our digital to 44. We don't use 96 and 48 because we know eventually it's gonna go down to CD. We're just gonna be 16 by 44, so we don't play them games. We record in Pro Tools at 24-bit. Other than that, when everything comes down through the processing and ready to be put to CD, we use 44. Now we have the Auto Tune by Ataris. We might use that from time to time just to mess with some stuff, make it sound weird. The Digio 2, we actually use that to bring our sounds out of Logic into our board. So we bring it in, we go A to D with this. So again, we come out of Logic, Firewire, then Firewire A to D to my light pipe that goes into, of course, the light for the show. Our two Panasonic DR7s. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we get it in. We pop it off, and that's what we do. I have two of these. I used to have one, then I bought two. So that gives us a total of 96 channels. We have we have 32 to 16 per channel, and then we have another 16, so that's 64, and then we have a couple other channels that we can use as well for auxiliary channels, spit-off channels and stuff like that. So all that comes out to the DA7. One of my screens are out, but we're going to, this has been out for a while. This is what it is. All right, so let's get back down here. Next, we have our Kurzweil KR2000R. You know what I mean? I got my screen's kind of jacked up there, but it still makes some really, really nice sounds. We like it. And our Monster Power Supply, which controls everything down here, our Pro 3500. That controls all the electric down here. All the electric. We don't play around with our sound. We got too much gear not to have that bad boy plugged into a reliable power source. We get ready to grab another one for a couple other pieces. We need one for over this side right here because we got a lot of plugs over here. So we're going to grab another one to put over here to line in our power supply as well. This is very protective. All right, and that's what it does. Here we have Pro Tools, and Pro Tools come out of our quad core. We have a quad core Mac right here, and we got about 4 drives in there. It's crazy, man. This thing does a job. We did 2 CDs on this, Experiences and the last CD. So holds up well. It does the job. We don't have too many hiccups if we do, just like anybody else. I mean, even the HD system has hiccups. It's going to have hiccups from time to time. That's what we do. Here we have our 2 converters. We have 2 Apogees. We have the Apogee Duet. And usually what I do is I'll run, like, if you want to sample some stuff, I'll run it through there. I'll run it through here if you want to sample. We don't use these too much for our mic pre's because we have enough mic pre's. But if I want to come out of, say, the 610, and I want to run it into one of the Apogees, then the Apogee's into Pro Tools, I can do that. We just got many options here, and that's the whole point of having gear at hand. You got to have enough options. So somebody coming to my studio, you know, we don't pay $25 an hour. They think they come into a studio that just has a laptop, some speakers, and a mic. No, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. We got gear, we got different mics, and this is why I really did this, because we got some really good mics today. So let's go ahead on and talk about our microphones, and that's going to be it for the night. We have our M-Audio Sputnik, and this is a tube mic made by M-Audio. I've had this mic for years. It's never let me down. There's a micro tube inside that, and there's an audio power supply right there that controls that mic. M-Audio Sputnik. People who are gearheads know about it. When I put this video up, they're going to know about it because I'm going to tag it. They're going to know what's up. Next, we have the RE20. A lot of people know about this broadcast mic, but it's also good for mic and guitars. It's also good to sing in, depending on the voice. A lot of these mics, you want to have a lot of mics just in case you have different voices. And that's why I've always had a lot of mics in my mic locker. I've always had a lot of mics, and I'm always looking for another mic, as long as it fits into the thing. We have, into our program. Right here, we have our AKG, and this is our C1000S. I'd like to thank again my boys at the pawn shop, Cheltenham Pawn. They put me down with that, gave me a nice price, and we good to go, and we picked that up. I'd like to thank my man Kev. I used to have this. This is not mine. It's my man Kev. I used to have this mic, actually. I used to have all the blue microphones. I've had the Kiwi, the Mouse, the Dragonfly. Oh, gosh. The Blueberry. I've had all the blue microphones, then I had to sell them, unfortunately, because I started downsizing. But Kev, no, I really like this mic. This is the Blue Kiwi. As you can see, it's huge. And we have that mic as well. Okay? Then we have your simple mic that we take out the gigs. It's your SM58, of course. We have our Elvis mic here, the Shure 55-2. And like I said, all these mics, if you talk to regular people who own studios, they're like, yeah, man, that's a nice mic. I know, that's why I got it. Because I know what it is. You know, I try to buy the good mics. You got to spend a lot of money. You have Neumann mics and all that stuff. These mics will do the job as well. But I wouldn't mind having a Neumann too. I ain't going to sit here and act funny. I wouldn't mind having a Neumann too. Here we have our Sennheiser's E609. Okay. And we use that for, I've seen vocalists use this mic as well, even though really we use this for bass drum. Might use it for a snare, depending. When I do my gigs outside of here in the studio, we take our mics for, like, you know, the drums. So this would be part of the drum mic. This will pretty much be the bass drum mic. SM58 would be the snare mic. And these would be anywhere else over here. So we got an Audix i5. I mean, it's OM2. Audix OM2. And we have two EV ND, okay, 767s. And we take those with us to my gigs. So we mic up, you know, the singers. Even though my man Q usually brings his wireless, so we really don't use these. But for the most part, these people are background singers or whatsoever. And then we have our drums. Then we have our Shure. My man over in Jersey hooked me up with the Shure, the KSM 25, which is kind of rival the people who know about gear. This kind of rival the Neumann TLM 103. They like it gave it a go. Even though they have a KSM 44, the KSM 25 gave that TLM 103 a kind of go for what, $400 more. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my man at Sweetwater, my representative. Well, this ain't last but not least. This is one of last but not least. I'd like to thank my man at Sweetwater for turning me on to this bad boy right here. This is a CV12. And this is made by Avatone. And is a model of the mic made by AKG called the C12 that Brian McKnight uses. So just kind of copy of that. It doesn't sound like Brian McKnight C12 because he get his modded. But still, this is a very nice mic. And people mod these mics as well. They send them in. They change out the tube in them. They might change something about the diaphragm on the capsule. But for me, it's fine the way it is. I used it over the weekend, and it sounded pretty doggone good. Last but not least, the two that I picked up today, my prized possessions. And this is going to be the Earthworks SROs or TC20s. And we use these for drums, mic and amplifiers, mic and acoustic guitars, all that stuff. That's it. That's the studio. So if you're looking for a studio that has the gear, that has the mics, that has the equipment, that has the outboard gear, and it has the sound. And if you don't know about my sound, as you can see, I got to turn that off right there and invite on your system name. No, we're not using that. Why you want to use that? No. I tell you, man, what's going to be bugging? Logic be bugging. It knows what I want to use. That's all I want to use. I don't want to use the alpha thing either. I'll turn that down. I got to talk to the computer sometimes because sometimes they think they're the boss and they're not the boss. This is not an artificial intelligence. We don't play that. You can see the clock. It says 12:20. Yeah, and your boy is up because I don't have to be work till 11. I mean, had a little situation at work. We don't want to talk about that. We talk about that another time. But now you've toured RocDaHouse Studios. So if you got $25 an hour and that's low. I'm trying to help some people out. I should be charging $45 an hour for the stuff I have. People charging $25 an hour with just one mic, headphones, 2 sets of speakers, a little audio interface, and a computer. And they charge $25 an hour because they use plugins inside of Pro Tools. We don't do that here. We use gear. All right? RocDaHouse Studios. I'm about to be out, man. I'm about to chill, man. I'm going to play with my new microphones I just got to see what they sound like mic'd up to some amplifiers. All right? The Earthworks. And I want to thank Tito for this. Shout out to my man Tito for the SROs, the TC20s. My man Tito. Put him down with that. I can't forget to shout him out. I just got those today. All right? So I'm out. RocDaHouse Studios. We're going to back out with grace. You know what I'm saying? We're going to back out. Oh, did I show you the other amp? I showed you the Fender. I showed you what's called. I've got to show you the bass amp. I got to thank to my man Nick out in Flowertown? Nah. Where did Nick live? Not Flowertown. Flowertown's where I live. I think Phoenixville. I thank my man Nick in Phoenixville for turning me on to the Portaflex Ampeg and his brother. Turned me on to the PV 350. And the name of the cabinet is the PF 210HE. That's the cabinet. And last but not least, my Fender. I always take to my shows, my Rumble 150. You always go to my shows with me. All right? That's enough. We got some headphones. We got some, what are these? These AKG something. They done wild. I had these for a while. 240s. They should be 240s. AKG 240s, K240s. We got some K141s. We got some old jacked up headphones just to have them. And also we have our 908s over here, Audio Technica 908s. And we have the ones in the booth, which, you know, people be using, which is called the RaJuR 440s. Now I think I covered everything in the studio. Yo, man, come by, check me out. If y'all want some good sound, y'all want some, you know what I mean? Holla at your boy. That's what we do. RocDaHouse Studios, RaJuR Real D Cool. Check me out, www.rajur.net. And also, you know, you can go check my music. All you got to do is go to iTunes. Go to Spotify. Go to anywhere you want. You'll hear my music. SoundCloud, you can hear my music for free. That's how we do. Holla at your boy. If you want to use this device, do not disconnect it. Do you want to use this device? No. Why you keep asking me that? And why you keep asking for this? Logic is ridiculous. That's why I was getting ready to get cut off by Logic. It's ridiculous. That's crazy. This thing keep asking me to put, you know what? Because I think I didn't disable this stuff before I got a chance to. So now it's disabled. I tell you, sometimes computers and programs are like ridiculous. Why ain't just playing, man? It should be playing right now. I probably got the mute on over there. Man, I've been having a ball, man. I can thank y'all guys. You see my drives. I'm thinking about moving my, I can't do it. It's too big. I was going to move one of the what you call them over to here. These are drives that back up stuff, CDs that we put into MPC 2000 for our sampling and stuff like that. And of course, you can sample albums. So if you got some albums, something you want to sample into the MPC, we're ready to go, baby. We're ready to go. That's what we do. We got some MPC samples right there. That's how we do. Holla at your boy. RaJuR Real D Cool and RocDaHouse Studios. That is going to be enough. I want to go a whole half hour, so let's just even out in a half hour. Hope everybody's doing well, man. I'd like to thank you guys, man, for stopping by, checking me out. And like I said, spread the word. A lot of people like to come by and check me out, but they don't share. I know what the problem is. All you got to do is like hit the share button. It'll share it to somebody, but it's all good. Some people just don't want to bother sharing, and it's okay. That's why I got to keep doing my videos so I can share it and turn people into what I do. You know, so... You know, I rely on people to help me share, but if you can't share, I don't always share everything anyway unless it really means a lot to me. So I don't really share a lot too. But look, if you like the video, you like what I got here, you want to turn somebody on to my studio, you want to turn them to my website, share the video. That's all you got to do. If you want to help me, help me. If you don't, it's all good. We still going to keep it popping because that's what we do here at RocDaHouse Studios. We never been doing this for years or we would be out of business by now. But we're not. You know why? Because we still got people who care about us and really support us no matter what. Even when those who don't like us and hate on us don't support us. That's what we do. And I'm going to end it on that. I'm going to end it on a positive note. Real Deep Cool CD. Check it out. That's all I got to say. And that's how we do. This is my very first CD that I did. That was written up in the paper. Got written up reviews and all that good stuff. That's how we keep it working. We work with major artists. We work with minor artists. We work with everybody. You don't need to see my face. All you need to do is just, hey, check out the music. We're going to start our new CD along with some other people, some collaborations. We're going to be out. Y'all have a great night. Hope you sleep well. Hope the Heavenly Father take care of you and your family. You take that forgiveness and put that in prayer. You know you did wrong. I know I did wrong. Pray it up. Try not to do it again, even though you know you are. No, you might not. You might change. I don't know. Look, I can't sit here and try to tell you what to do with your life. But all I'm saying is I'm very thankful for what I have and what I don't have. And I hope you guys feel the same way, man. I wish you health. I wish you wellness. All those that are hurting, I wish you comfort. And all those, you know, that's what I do, man. That's just what I do. RocDaHouse Studios, we keep it real. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy.